Really, today what we're going to talk about is something pretty interesting, and I found some fascinating statistics. It's nothing we haven't talked about before. It's nothing we haven't discussed, but we're going to put some more specific statistics. I don't get into a lot of the research. I try to hit the highlights, and I encourage you guys to go on to the website. I always post my sources. So just know I don't go through everything, and there's a lot of fascinating research that has been done. And what I wanted to cover after doing a lecture in Estero this week at Florida Blue, we had some pretty interesting questions. I wanted to cover the top causes for falls. I don't understand why people wait until they fall and then they want to do something. And by that time, it's too late. And we know the research. We know that as we age, we're more susceptible to falls. And right here, let's talk about this, all right? So by identifying the common causes of falls, you can put a plan in place. And that's what we're doing here. That's what we all are doing here is we're working our plan, and that's what it takes. More than 1 out of 4 older people, talking about 65 and older, every year, according to the CDC and prevention, more than 1 out of 4 fall every year. And if you fall, you're twice as likely to do so again. An older adult is at risk for hip fractures and other injuries that can drastically impact one's ability and maintain adequate mobility. Top causes are weaknesses in the lower body, right? Leg strength. That's a life indicator. I tell you guys all the time, if I walk into a home and I see somebody that's struggling to get out of their chair, that's a red alert for me. That's a red flag. I'm going to pound those legs and get them strong so they can get mobile. Because if you don't even have strong legs, you can't even do cardiovascular exercise, walking on a treadmill. Another thing that leads to leg weakness and overall weakness is something called sarcopenia. All right, we've talked about this before, but sarcopenia is just a reduction in appetite or somebody stops eating. And that can be due to a number of reasons, right? It can be due to mouth issues, a loss of teeth, dental issues. It can be due to medications, right? And sometimes older people, believe it or not, I've ran into folks that honestly, they forget to eat. They just stop eating. And when you stop eating and getting those calories, obviously, it weakens the body. Number 2, osteoporosis. We just covered that, right? You know how the bones, they're like honeycomb, osteoporosis. It goes in and just eats away that bone. It doesn't eat away, but it deteriorates. That's a better word I should use, deteriorates. Okay? There have been estimations that as many as 10 million people in the U.S. have osteoporosis. 70% of all fractures among those with osteoporosis are 65 and older. 70% of people who have fractures that are over the age of 65 have osteoporosis. Think about that. At some degree. That's pretty alarming. Number 3, loss of vision. We talk about the importance of the vestibular system and how we have the common nerves running from the eyes and the ears. You should always get your eyes checked at least once a year. Number 4, foot health. Things like neuropathy, right? Peripheral neuropathy. Things that affect those and impact those nerve endings. That's going to impact your balance. Those are the top 5, 4, 5 medications, right? And in the United States of America, medicine is a business, and it is a booming business. And I want to encourage you, strongly encourage you to be your own advocate. Now, with the internet, with Google and DuckDuckGo and Safari and all these, Bing and all these different search engines, you have access now more than any time in human history to information and knowledge. Exercise that ability, all right? Now, really quickly, we know that falls account for one of the most common and serious injuries contributing to disability, especially among our elderly individuals. There were some let me skip that. I'm going to let you go back. But there was some very interesting information here that I wanted to just run through. Here it is right here. Normal gait, right? We know our normal gait, just walking, right? A healthy normal gait. That's why we do the flexibility exercises, so these muscles back in our legs can help us reach their full range of motion. A healthy gait results from effective coordination from neural components such as the basal ganglia, right, which is our movement and our reward system in the brain, regulated muscle tone, and functional processing of sensory information such as vision, hearing, and proprioception. Vision and hearing, vestibular system. Proprioception, right? That's stable but unstable. Look, I'm on one foot. I'm stable, but look at my foot working. I'm a little unstable. So normal gait occurs when the brain, the eyes, and the feet are working together in harmony. Where have you heard that before? Right? There's a lot of fantastic information. We're going to stop right there for class. We're going to go on. We've taken up quite a bit of time, but I would strongly encourage you to pull this off of the resources and sources page. It'll scroll down to the bottom. It'll be under the title, The Most Common Causes of Falls. You've got the top 5, and now we know why it's so important to do crossword puzzles or putting together puzzles, activate the brain. So let's go ahead and activate our bodies.